Hello, everyone. I wanted to come to you because something just keeps resonating in my head. And this was spur of the moment because I don't have on a hashtag causeascene shirt. And I have stated that I will no longer do videos and promoting other people's stuff. So that must tell you that this is important for me to stop in the rain and have a short let me process something. So there's a tweet that was out yesterday, and it was in response to the Mayor Pete Buttigieg's the article that Michael Hart wrote, and it's the response to it's he called me, here's what happened. So Mecca, I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name, I apologize, but his handle is at MEKKAOKEREKE. And I retweeted this, but I really want to break down something here. So one of the tweets in the thread says, a fun benefit of entitlement and privilege is that you get to 1, assume that you're the best person to fix things. 2, start out by being fantastically wrong. 3, have others educate you. And 4, with your newfound knowledge and your pre-assumed authority, go try to fix things. I see this so much in the tech space. Oh my word, I see this so much in the tech space. And I'm really talking about this because there's so many problematic individuals who think they can do this work, and yet they cause harm. And I want to speak to one of the tweets that one of the things that I said in regards to this article, because Mayor Pete is supposed to be he got called out as a lying motherfucker. He calls Michael, and then he has some awakening. And my tweet was, there's no such thing as a great awakening, and whiteness is cured of its white supremacy and anti-black perspectives. It takes consistent, demonstrated anti-racist behavior with the understanding that it will in all caps, censor itself because it's the default and cause harm. And so I'm coming to you because there's so many of whiteness in tech who have the intention and desire to do this work. And yet it goes back to what Mecca talks about. You are actually benefiting from the education of others, from others, and really aren't doing the work. And this is why this is entitled Y'all Not Ready. Every week for the past 12, I've created 12 episodes of the book club of reading and processing and dissecting, and debriefing How to Be Anti-Racist by Dr. Ibram Kendi. And I've actually challenged and disagreed with not many, I won't say many. Yeah, it's some of the fundamental basics, some of the things that I see as harmful. I've challenged that, and I've talked about it, I've broken it down, and yet I continue to see white people in tech, white people who want to do this work, white people who are actually doing this work, not taking the time. When I bring it up, they'll ask a question. I was like, have you listened to this podcast? Oh, I don't have time to do that. Or it's on my list. I have all these other things. And it's just really interesting to me how you can profess to want to be of service to a community of people that you don't have time to evaluate your own white supremacy, that you don't have time. You have all the time in the world to understand my viewpoint, to understand the Latinx viewpoint. You have all the time in the world to project out, but you will not make time to actually unpack your own bullshit that is actually causing harm. You don't have time for that. That now I have to feed my family. I have to go to work. I have to go to practice. I have to go do yoga. I have to do everything else. But to address your own, whiteness's own issues and how they're causing harm fundamentally, and why I continue to say Whiteness is racist by design and cannot be trusted by default because you don't do the work. Yet you want to go out here and get, want to call yourself an ally. You get pissed off when people say you're not an ally. Something about that word just really gets you excited. It's like orgasmic for you to say, somebody to say, "Ooh, I'm an ally." It's like, yeah. But when I ask you basic questions about how you're functioning in the world, how are you minimizing harm, you can't answer those. So yeah, you're not ready for this work. You're really not. And what I would advise many of you to do, I'm just going to say all of you to do who follow me, is to make some time this weekend and start listening to that podcast, those podcast episodes. It's specifically about the book, the #causeascene book club. Go purchase that book, How to Be Anti-Racist, because this is the first book in a series we're going to do. It's going to be ongoing because there's a lot of shit you got to learn. There's a lot of shit I have to learn, and I'm doing the work. And as a black person, if I can do the work, oh my God, with your privilege, I think you could at least try to do the work. But it speaks a lot about you and what whiteness does. And if it can't be centered and it can't make the shit up, if it can't define what success is and what advocacy is and what allyship is, it defaults to, oh, I don't have time, or this is too much, or, I'm too afraid to do this because I might you're causing harm anyway, whether you want to or not. When you walk into a space and you prioritize yourself, you are causing harm. So what I need you to do is get out your fucking feelings. Get out your fucking heads. You are not experts here at all. And this includes Pete Buttigieg. Not one fucking conversation with one black man is going to make you anti-racist. Anti-racist behavior comes from consistent, demonstrated anti-racist behavior. So the next person who, when I ask, have you listened to the podcast? And they say, oh, I haven't had time, but it's on my list. Just know I'm going to fuck off. That's all I got to say. I'm going to fuck off because I'm so sick of giving you resources. I'm so sick of creating content, of putting people in front of you for you to learn from. And if it makes you uncomfortable, you do not prioritize it. If you don't see an immediate benefit for yourself, it makes you, you don't prioritize it. And this again is why whiteness can't be trusted by default, because we're all, individuals who prioritize our own self. That is just human nature. And it is incumbent upon, and it's required for whiteness to go the extra mile to not center itself and to prioritize the most vulnerable. And that goes against everything you've been taught. And if you can't do the basic that, you are of absolutely no help, and you are causing harm. So I just wanted to say that because y'all just ain't ready. Y'all just ain't ready for this shit. But before I end, it's happening. You see it every day in your organizations. They're getting browner. They're getting blacker. They're getting more disabled people are coming in. More people you've never had to actually function around or come. We're there. And it's not changing. So and again, I tell you, I'm not here to convert or convince you. You figure this shit out, or you're going to have to find you another industry because this shit is changing. So for those in the U.S., have a wonderful holiday tomorrow. And find something to be thankful for that is beyond yourself. Thank those individuals who in this space who have helped you learn, who have helped you minimize harm. And for those international followers, you can do the same thing. Fuck, it's just a Thursday. You can be thankful as well. So have a wonderful day.